welcome all to the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, going to Overland Expos in Hondas, this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and germs. My name is Tyler, and joining me once again on the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast. This is what, episode 414?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. The one and only Mr. Jimmy Jet. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm hot.
Yeah? You're
I'm
walking around a lot, though.
I was walking around a lot. I'm doing, physically, I'm doing a lot better. Surgery is healing up well.
Good.
Yes.
You're not walking on like a penguin anymore. So
I'm not waddling. I think I'm almost walking back to normal. But it's getting better every day.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that.
That's good. We've painted enough magical images for everybody already.
Yes, we have.
You saw Brian Murphy's post.
I did.
On the Snail Squad page.
I said TMI question mark.
Oh, man. Anyways. We're out here at Overland Expo, recording on site out in the middle of the camping area on Sunday. So things are kind of closing down. Vendors are getting ready to leave. A lot of the participants are leaving. This field around us is a lot emptier than it was.
It's drastically.
Yeah.
I would say like 75% of the people in this area have left already.
Yeah. We've been out here since Thursday night. Thursday evening for you guys and Thursday night for me.
Yeah, well, you weren't here Thursday night.
Thursday night?
No, you were over there.
We were 50 feet away. That's right.
They wouldn't let him in.
They wouldn't let me in. Yeah.
Even though it's like, I just need to go through the fence.
Yep. Literally, we're 40, 50 feet from the fence, and I had to camp right on the other side of the fence in a gravel lot rather than letting me just come through the fence and camp here.
It was so silly.
Whatever. They have their rules they got to follow, I guess. So, but we're out here. We've been having a great time. Friday and Saturday were great. It's been hot out here, though.
It's in the 90s.
It's in the 90s.
Gets up into the 90s.
There's not really any shade, so you're just getting beat on by the sunlight all day long.
That's the hard part about this place is there's no shade anywhere.
Yeah, well, there is underneath the Ironman Delta wing that we have on the trailer, so that's nice.
This 270. This has saved the day for sure.
Yeah.
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 But it's a cool venue.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good event. It was a fun event. Mm-hmm. I think I saw a lot of people, great networking, got to see some cool items. We'll talk about one of those things later that the assistant liked a lot. Mm-hmm. And maybe on our recap episode in a week or so.
Yeah.
And
there's a few items that I think will be fun to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
We got a bunch of interviews for everybody. So I think we're going to have at least 3 to 4 episodes here of content from Expo, getting to hear about stories. We'll see how many that really turns into. But this episode here, we wanted to kick it off with a good buddy of ours that we talked a lot about, but we've never gotten him on the podcast before.
Yeah.
So before we hear from Alex, we have a couple of updates as reminders for everybody. The Moose Knuckle giveaway is going on here for the month of July. So all you got to do to get into that is head over to irate4x4.com and sign up for the giveaway tier underneath the Snail Squad forum. Not the Snail Squad, the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast forum. And once you do that and you're signed up for it, then you get access to the Snail Squad forum.
Correct. So, yep. You can do that on the mobile. You scroll all the way down to the bottom and the sign up sheet will be there. On desktop, it's over on the right side.
Yep. So that's over at irate4x4.com. Huge shout out to Austin for letting us make that home over there for all of our giveaways and everything else going on. So Moose Knuckle giveaway, you have until the end of July, the last day, which is June 63rd, 62nd?
Somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got the Moose Knuckle giveaway going on. We have the Super Winch group buy going on. That's going to go through July 24th, which is like June 54th.
50.
Right? Yes. So anyways, July 24th is the end of the Super Winch group buy. I think we're getting close to 30 winches here So pretty cool. Super Winch is super stoked about it. They gave us some phenomenal pricing. I got to look at a couple of their winches here around the grounds this weekend. So they have the SX10SR, which is the 10,000 pound synthetic rope winch for $485, and the 12,000 pound brother to that is $525. So some really, really good pricing there from Super Winch that they're giving us. Make sure you guys go check out everything else that they have. They got some really cool products over there. And if you want to get in for the group buy on the winch, get in contact with either me or Jimmy, and we'll get your name, email, and what model winch you want. So we need those 3 pieces of info, and we'll figure out. We have the pricing done. We have, I think, how payments are going to have to work. I'm just waiting on the shipping, logistics, and costs before we get the final prices and get payments going for everybody out there. So
cool. Sounds good.
Yep.
We also have the Flex Power Tool monthly giveaway for our listeners or for our Snail Squad members.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be doing the intro for Thursday, and during that intro, I will be announcing the winner for that. And then I think the following Thursday, we'll be announcing FNGs and birthdays.
Sweet.
I also want to give a reminder that this weekend, the 15th, I will be out at Fasteners Tool Outlet. Come out there and hang out with me. It's going to be a hot one. It looks like the temperature is going to be like 107, 109.
Mm-hmm.
So bring some hydration, bring some food, or bring some canopies or umbrellas or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Keep yourself cool out there. But come and hang out. I'll be out there. Lawless Corey will be out there, and we're going to be playing with some Flex tools.
Yep. That should be a fun event. So I think that's all the updates. We have a really fun interview here for you guys with Alex from Wagan Tech. Who Jimmy has been using some of the lights in Lithium Cube. I've been using some of their lights. They have a lot of really cool stuff going on. And I got to learn a few new things about Wagan Tech in the interview, which was kind of cool. So,
yeah, I had no idea they were a 40-year-old company.
Right? Yeah, it is. So without further ado, go ahead and grab your favorite drinks, grab your favorite coffee. There's been some good coffees around the grounds here this weekend. And we'll be right on back with Alex from Wagan Tech.
Are you tired of landing in potholes and bouncing off obstacles? To play at your full potential, correctly tuned coilovers allow you to float over the rocks and gain more traction. At 4-Wheel Underground, our full suspension systems include custom-tuned coilovers for your specific application. To learn more, visit 4wheelunderground.com.
Oh, welcome back, ladies, gentle ladies, all the kiddos out there. We are here out at Overland Expo yet again. We got a really cool interview here. We've talked about this company quite a bit on the podcast before, and we were like, you know what? It's time. It's time to get the famous Alex here on the show. So we were able to wake up at like 5 a.m. this morning, come out and get him and his attention before the crowd show up here at Overland Expo in the Wagan Tech booth. So we got Alex here from Wagan Tech. How you doing, man?
Good morning.
Great
to be here. Nice and
morning.
toasty. Good to see you
Yeah, it
guys.
is. It's already hot.
We need to scoot back like 3 feet, and we'd all be in the shade.
Nice. Oh, man. So how's the show been for you guys?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, toasty, but
Yep.
people have been good. Great conference.
Mhm.
But, that's the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stories and the getting to see all the people.
Yeah.
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 I saw that you guys were giving away some free lights here.
Yep.
Some stickers, and some people had to go out doing some guerrilla marketing with them. Huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that was the less fun part, but we got the job done.
Yeah.
Got the little camp lights. We were giving out, the battery operated camp lights to get people into the booth, and I think it's out pretty well for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Sweet. So just a real quick high level, because we're going to go back into, I think, a little bit more diving into some of the fun things you guys do with the product lineups. But what does Wagan Tech do? What do you guys do here?
Yeah, so what we're all about is basically car convenience, car power, mobile power, and mobile lighting wherever you go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I like it. That's the best elevator speech we've had so far.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
Nice. So how did Wagan Tech get started? Where did you come from?
So I am the product of 40 years of being in the business. My parents started the business back in '83, so this is actually
cool.
our 40th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thanks. So we're super excited. I joined up with the company in '01, and so I've been there with
Was that 20 years? 22?
22 years. Yeah. So for me, I've kind of grown up in the business. I started just from the bottom, worked my way up, and here I am. My parents are retired. My brother-in-law Lance and I were leading the company to the next.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of an exciting time to own a mobile electronics company. There's a lot of really cool things happening with battery technology, CAN bus technology, MOSFET technology. Are you guys getting into a lot of those different things?
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's a really interesting time, a lot of new technologies. The goal, I think, is to help them play nice together.
Okay.
Right? Rather than a lot of silo technologies.
Okay.
Grow the technologies, grow the battery technology, have it more viable, have it useful in what we do. Whether mobile lifestyle or overlanding, off-grid.
Nice. So you're kind of creating like an ecosystem with everything?
Exactly.
That's cool. Yeah. Nice. What are some of the products that you guys... Well, when the company started 40 years ago, what kind of electronics were you guys doing in 1983?
1983, there was not many electronics.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't believe there was.
We grew up in the 8-track, right? That was kind of phasing away. But 83, so our claim to fame in the late 80s, some of your listeners might know the wooden bead seat cushion. So the little wooden bead seats in all the taxi cabs.
Yeah.
Pretty much all around the world. So my dad actually started that in the United States.
No shit.
Yeah, so at that time, we sold about 4 million pieces of wooden bead seat covers.
Holy crap.
And so that's kind of, where everything started. But the interesting thing is, as we all know, technologies or competition changes, and that forces you to innovate.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
And so around 87, 89, we moved away from wooden beads because, as you can imagine, number one, you chop down a lot of trees. Kind of avoid that. Number two, it's all freight. It's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And so we moved into more, our first inverter night. So that's where all the inverter business started.
Started from there in the early 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm kind of shocked you didn't go into like heated seats.
So I was thinking like heated air conditioning seats or massaging seats.
Well, that thread, that arm of the business continued to stay.
Okay.
And I'm sure you see on our website, we continue to do that business, continue to grow quite a bit in our. And so we branched out into more of the heated part, massage, and that thread. But now is a new arm is the tech side of the business. So that's where...
Yeah, because the website does have sort of a lifestyle side to it.
Yes.
Because sometimes they're like, who's Wagan Tech? I'm like, it's kind of... I don't know. This luxury lifestyle electronic business.
Exactly. And so, I mean, when you hear kind of the beginning, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? That's why we have two brands, the Wagan Tech, the Health Mate. And our goal was those off separately. And that's still our goal, but we've really focused on 7 years. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. So coming from that, you guys got into inverters early 90s. When did you guys start getting into lights, DC to DC chargers, lithium cubes, boosters, car starters, battery starters, jump starters? When did all that start evolving and really becoming the mainstay?
Yeah, so I've always been a light nerd.
Okay.
I enjoy my lights, so that's always been kind of the creation process in there. So
lights before locker. I think we were talking about that yesterday. Yeah.
Lights before lockers. So we did that. We continued to do that, and we have a lot of fun in the light space. It's mostly camp lights, not vehicle mounted or anything like that.
Okay.
We stay in our lane, I guess.
Yeah.
In terms of the booster packs and whatnot, that's always been kind of the mainstay, because as we were in the automotive department, automotive category, as you guys know, there's SEMA and there's Apex.
Yep.
Two very important industries. Apex keeps your car running, and that's kind of your bread and butter. So we've done a lot of business, jump starters, and that evolved into the lithium too.
Gotcha.
And then adding more features, air compressors, inverters. Some of your guys might know, like the Power Dome, multifunctions, like a Swiss Army knife for your jump starter pack emergency
Oh, nice.
kit.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And then, of course, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So that evolved into the solar e-Power Cube, our original one in 2010. That was the original idea, basically right before the Lithium Cube. All-in-one, solar panels built in. Open it up like a flower.
Oh, that was okay. I saw one of those on
Yeah.
top of Fisher Mountain at King of the Hammers this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, that's a fucking Wagan Tech product.
Yeah.
And I was like, why have I not seen this thing before? And it it was owned by the BLM. And so I was like, it was just sitting up there by itself. There was
That's
nothing
cool.
plugged into it or nothing. I was
Okay.
like, does BLM know they left this up here? What happens
Did
if
you
it just
plug your
disappears?
repeater
No. But yeah, that was a pretty cool, clever design on it all. So.
Yeah, so we had a lot of patents around that product. And especially that product, it allowed military applications because, as we all know, if you want to deploy any electronics or solar even, you want to deploy quick and get the heck out of there.
Yeah.
Right? And so there was a big application. We helped a lot of people in Haiti during the earthquake.
Oh, yeah.
Where
okay.
we shipped the Solar Power Cube to a university there to help them build business models
Oh, wow.
in Haiti to help the local people rather than just handouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was really that actually is really part of our mission.
That's
is
cool.
to use our company and products.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. So you had that one. How long until you got into the cubes and stuff you got going on now?
Yeah. So the Lithium Cube, in probably about 4 years ago, I saw the technology kind of starting to shift over. But we didn't want to jump in immediately because we knew technology was very much in the infancy. And yeah, so we watched it, we tested it, we went through a ton of prototypes, and we were just not really happy with it. So we sat there and just kind of waited for technology to catch up. And even then, I would say we're purposely late to adopt. Because, as you guys know, we get out there and we hammer the products ourselves.
Yeah.
We test the products ourselves,
Yeah.
and we give it to our friends who, like our friend Mountain Subi, she puts 100,000 miles in 2 years.
Holy crap.
And she hammers it more than any other.
Yeah.
And so we wanted it to be proven before to the marketplace. So
Nice.
yeah. So Lithium Cube came out about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Right in the middle of COVID. And I think the time was right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like it was just perfect timing in general
Yep.
because there were so many people going out during
Yeah.
that time. You know, you did a lucky time release.
Yes.
In a way,
Yeah.
you know, with the way the situation of the world was, and then the people wanting to go camping, and this fantastic product that allows them to continue to stay out as long as they kind of want.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. And then also, as we all know, right before COVID, everybody got into the prepper mindset.
Yep.
And so that certainly helped it. Yeah.
And then you've always sort of been in solar panel technology with the flower. And so, what was the name of that?
Solar e-Power Cube.
Solar e-Power Cube.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so you had that. So the merger of just a separate solar panel to
Yep.
work with the Lithium Cube was
Yeah.
an easy adoption for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw the limitations of the original Solar Power Cube. You know, it's attached, it's great, but actually the Solar Power Cube is water resistant. We have channels built in there. You could leave it out. If it rains, it actually takes care of itself.
Nice.
But yeah, we wanted something kind of separate because we wanted a smaller form factor, smaller footprint for people to use.
Yeah. It makes it easier to use in, off-road, mobile lifestyles kind of thing.
Yeah, because the
So-
original Cube, that thing the big one was 135 pounds because
Wow.
it had a giant 100 amp AGM gel battery in it.
Dang.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's a little limitation there.
Yeah. Nice. Well, cool. So how did you, so you got into this family business. You do obviously a lot of off-roading. What kind of vehicle do you have?
I got a 100 Series Land Cruiser, 99.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a crawler, but, we want to get out there, learning the ropes of, the tougher, more technical trails.
Mm-hmm.
But I just really enjoy the process of just getting out there, meeting people, and just honestly getting out there and putting our products to the test and then some.
Do you end up coming up with a lot of ideas just because you are out there and you're like, there's not a good solution for this, or do we?
Yeah.
Let's make something for it now.
And
Yeah.
So we bought the vehicle in 2019, right before everything hit the fan. And we were getting out there, and my goal with the vehicle really was, of course, getting out there, enjoying everything. But also, this was our R&D vehicle. This was our, basically, I consider this our race pro.
Okay.
This allows us to put any product to the limit, in environments where you can't replicate in a lab very well.
Yeah.
And hear stories from people in the same fashion. So, it definitely allowed the R&D process. It allowed us to see the gap and see, gosh, I need this. Nobody else makes this. Let's make something.
Yeah.
So that's the fun part. Yeah.
Nice. So you guys are located in the Bay Area?
Yep.
In NorCal?
Yep.
So San Francisco Bay Area?
Yeah. Right in Hayward.
In Hayward. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And then, so that kind of makes it that's a nice thing about NorCal and kind of the Bay Area, Sacramento area, that whole central region there, is that you're within like 2 to 3 hours of all the different environments you can test in, right?
Yeah.
So where do you typically like to go and play around at with the Land Cruiser?
Yeah. So, being in the Bay Area, we can head really any direction. North will be in Mendocino. That's a great playground. Going east, Tahoe, Stanislaus, all of that, right? And then south to Big Sur.
Gotcha.
Minus it being always closed.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be. Our favorite spot over the years has actually been Lassen. So we've actually explored quite a bit in that area. Not just the national park, but a little bit more into the national forest. So that's been super
Nice.
Yeah.
That's someplace I was just telling the assistant, my wife, that we need to go and explore more.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been to that in like area since I was a child.
Yeah, same before.
And there's just there's weird stuff out there that's sulfur pits and random geysers and like just mud pits that are bubbling and and it's a volcanic area.
Yeah.
And it's so different than going up into the Sierras.
Yep.
It would just be an eye-opening experience just to go and explore that area again.
No, for sure. And I believe it's got, don't quote me on this, but it's got like all 5 volcanoes just in the national area.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
I didn't even know there was more than one volcano type. I'm pretty sure a volcano is a volcano.
Yeah. Right. That's cool. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to Lassen National Forest or anything.
This year's a great year to go because the rivers are full.
Yeah.
The lakes are full. So we bring our paddle boards out there.
Cool.
Good camping. There's good fishing. Hat Creek, it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
You don't want to give out your good fishing spots, Alex.
Hat Creek is like 100 miles long. So
okay. Nice.
All right, so 100 people can go and you each can have a mile.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you can't drive to the summit of Lau, correct?
No,
you can drive, there's a base
Yep.
and a parking lot and you can hike up.
Yeah. And that's a solid strenuous hike.
Yes.
But it's doable. It's high elevation, 9,000. So it's tricky, but
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I summited Shasta one time, and it was such a beautiful day. You can look out and just see the horizon and the curvature of the earth.
Oh, wow.
And then there's just one other mountain, south of there, just poking up, and I was like, oh, that's Lassen.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That was a great day.
When it's not.
Yeah, I've also been up on that mountain on Shasta when we've hiked through the smoke and got above the smoke layer and got to the top. But unfortunately, the smoke was so bad there was no view. And I was like, well, I summited, but I can't see anything. So that sucks.
Smoky clouds everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So this is a fun question. We've kind of been asking a few people out here. What does overlanding mean?
Overlanding is getting out there, for me, seeing what I haven't seen already.
Okay.
Further.
Okay. So kind of testing your abilities, testing the car's abilities, or kind of both?
Both.
Yeah.
And also just seeing what's over the horizon. I mean, physically, but also, so in the past couple years, our family, we've been traveling a lot within California.
Okay.
From Mojave Valley, all the parks. But I feel like we've barely scratched the surface. And that's just within California.
Yeah.
Right? Our next goal is to stay, go further. Our kids are in school, so it's harder to do that. And owning company, it's harder too. But, it's the exploration and pushing further, seeing what
Interesting fact I just learned yesterday talking to Bound for Nowhere.
Okay.
Alabama apparently has like the most versatile ecosystem out of all the states. Like there's 5 fully different ecosystems in Alabama. So you can go from the swamp and lagoons down the Gulf all the way up to, the getting into the Appalachian Mountains. So everything in between. I was like, I've never really wanted to go to Alabama before, but that was like, I was like, that would be kind of cool to travel, 5-6 hours in one direction and get through 5 different ecosystems. It'd be kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I've done the southern part of Alabama, but it's all marsh and wetlands and swampy and
hard to drive through and stuff.
Well, we stayed on the road.
Okay.
We were on the highway. We did a fun trip one time with the family. We went from New Orleans, and then we drove from New Orleans all the way around, just on the base of the country, and we went down the whole panhandle of Florida and up to Savannah, Georgia.
Oh wow! Amazing.
That was a fun road trip.
You guys survived driving through Miami?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. That wasn't. I think we just drove straight through Miami. It wasn't one of our stops.
Yeah.
When we do our road trips, cities aren't the highlight, right?
Gotcha,
it's going to find a small area that's undiscovered, or some neat nature feature, or go to the marshes or the wetlands and check those things out. It's not like, sometimes it's go to a city and check out a museum. But there wasn't too much that we had interested in Miami. We just straight through.
Yeah.
Hope you got a Cubano while you're there, though.
I don't think we did.
Oh.
No. We had a lot of poor boys, though.
Okay,
down there.
All right.
Yeah, alligator poor boys and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Tastes like chicken.
Oh, okay. I was like, you're kind of speaking English, but I still don't know what you're talking about.
It was an alligator sandwich.
Nice.
Yeah.
An alligator meat sandwich?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's
a white meat. So
How
it tastes like chicken.
It
really
tastes like
does.
chicken.
Yeah.
Is it harder or?
It's pretty similar.
Interesting,
Texture, consistency.
Interesting. No fishy taste or
No,
smell
not
to it
at
at all.
all.
Being a
It's not
aquatic
like
animal?
frog.
Frog.
Frog
Yeah.
is got a little bit fishy taste.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually like a good, texture of chicken. It's like it's very close to chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff.
I'll try some alligator meat now. Put that on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. See, and that's part of the fun of traveling. Is
Yeah.
you get to
Yeah.
experience some of those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Get
But-
to eat the local fare, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
So, do you need any particular kind of vehicle to go overlanding, or
I
Like-
don't think so.
you don't think so?
I mean,
Be
as
anything?
they say, run what you brung, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Two-wheel drive CRVs are okay.
I've seen them done. I mean, that's a tricky one, right?
Uh-huh.
But our friend Mountain Subi, she kills it. She does the Rebel every year, right? And
Is that the Subaru right here?
yeah, the
Nice.
Subaru
Yeah.
Outback.
Mm-hmm.
She's done 100,000 miles in 2.5 years, and she's done more trails than most people can do in a year or 5 years.
Yeah. Seriously.
Tyler's really just making fun of me because I brought a 2-wheel drive CRV and a ground tent to an overland.
Well, you're
meetup.
not overlanding unless you got the rooftop tent, right?
I brought a lithium cube and a fridge.
All right.
And a solar panel.
You're halfway there. All right. A Gazelle.
No, it was a Coleman. It has an annex in it, big annex entrance. So.
Yeah, I was interested in his annex on his tent.
Nice.
But anyways.
Yeah. Enough about me.
Yeah.
And the 2-wheel drive CRV.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. The show's been awesome. You guys are getting to meet a lot of people. A lot of people are having questions about coming up and being like, I've never heard of Wagan Tech before.
Mm-hmm.
Has it been a lot of awareness for you guys out here? Or?
Yeah, for sure.
Uh-huh.
This is. I mean, PNW. This is only the second year, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We've been to West now 4 years, 4
Okay.
years. And the awareness has continued to grow, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And we just tell them our story. You want to hear their stories, and that
Mhm.
certainly helps in the process. So that's super fun. Overland Journal and those guys, they've been great to us too.
Nice.
And so it's been a good process.
What would you say is some of your most common questions that you're getting asked about your products?
Yeah, so I guess, how do we use it? What can I use it for? Especially with the Lithium Cube, that's probably one highlight products.
Okay.
and also the lights. Right?
Yeah.
Lights are pretty easy sells. We just walk through the features, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool!" Right? Lithium cubes. Typically, we always ask them, what do you need? What do you use it for? And I would say is always about fridges and charging your toys.
Yeah.
We're starting.
No portable ice makers have come up yet.
A couple of them. A couple of them. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, portable ice makers. Was it
blenders?
Blenders? Oh yeah.
If you got a portable ice maker and a blender, you got margaritas now.
There was a full timer. A couple. The wife. That was her main use. Blender.
That's it.
I can buy it only if it works for a blender. I was like, bring your blender over here. Let's give it a go.
Let's try it.
Got some margarita mix?
Yeah, seriously. That's cool. Yeah.
So how would you how do you help people figure out which cube to buy? Because you have 3 versions.
Yeah.
You have a 300, a 500, and a 1200 for the most part.
Yeah, so if it's fridge, we always steer them towards 1200 because that gives you up to 5 days of use, given kind of ambient temperatures, 76 degrees, right? Beer cold temp. 500 is good if you're out just for a quick weekend and just, again, beer cold temps. But if you're bringing popsicles to the desert for the kids, nice party trick.
Otter Pops.
Yep. You got to go 1200.
Yeah.
And so that's the usual kind of triage. But if you're just charging your toys like, iPhone, 325.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I have the 500, use it with my fridge as the primary use, charge stuff occasionally off of it, but I do have to concern myself at day 2 of the solar panel needs to be out there. I need to be driving in a car to recharge it because it'll last on a not a 90-degree straight in the heat in the car sort of scenario. It'll last for 2 days fairly easily. You can stretch it along. But what I found is usually when I go to bed, I unplug it. And I'll just let it coast throughout the night and not have to worry about charging or running the battery or running the fridge because I'll wake up and it's went from like 32 to 40, that's okay for me in a fridge scenario.
Yeah, that was actually a trick that I learned from Graham Bell. They've been full-timing for about 12 years.
Okay.
They said, every night they just turn off the fridge and it's enough to hold the temperature just right? It's not going to spoil your food and you conserve a ton of energy.
Yes.
So that's a great workflow.
Yeah. I mean, we were getting down into the 50s here, and it saves your it saves 12 hours or maybe 12 hours of your battery. It saves however long you sleep.
Yeah. Cool. So you got those. What are some other goodies you guys got here? The DC to DC chargers.
Yep. So we are expanding our power ecosystem. Late last year, we launched a new DC system. It's got the MPPT built in already, and so you can run your solar, basically charge your auxiliary battery or house battery from your vehicle and also solar panels all at the same time. It can auto switch depending on what the situation is. And we just launched, we're about to ship the new displays. So those are coming out real quick. That'll allow you to see what's coming in, how many amps you're actually charging the auxiliary batteries with. And later this fall, we're launching our next generation for the pure sine inverters, which once you plug it into the display, now you can remotely turn on and off. And you're able to see how much consumption the inverter's using.
Nice.
So how many watts you're using and whatnot.
Is that what Lee posted about?
Yes.
Is his in like a side panel or wherever he put that thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
I saw
really
that.
kind of pretty piano black.
Yeah.
Amazing panel that he made. So that was pretty cool.
That was really neat.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's cool. That'll be a nice little hub. Spot. Is it going to be Bluetooth so that you can check it without having to look directly at the panel?
For me, on a personal level, I don't need another app for another thing.
Okay.
I know Bluetooth is super popular. I get it. I use it for other devices, but I feel like the technology is not quite there yet.
Okay.
Because right now you have a Bluetooth app for your rock lights, for your Switch Pros, maybe, for your this, for your that. It's like, holy cow, I have 4 apps just for lights.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts. I wish, and I hope that we can come up with a standard so that there could be one unified app or one unified language at least that we can just use, and so we don't have to. So this is part of the purposely late adoption part. So I'm watching, and hopefully we can develop one in the industry, whatever it is.
Nice. That'd be kind of interesting. Have like your off-road vehicle app.
Yeah.
And that would be able to run and connect to all the different Bluetooth devices. You can just pull up your rock lights, or pull up your this, or pull up your battery management system, and all these things.
Or even just a common language, right?
Yeah.
Every manufacturer can use their own app. That's fine.
Yeah.
But let's say I don't want to use your app, but I've already got this app.
Mm-hmm.
One language that I can use.
Oh,
right? on the back end. On the back end.
Okay.
Yeah, because they do that just like iOS, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's one language on the back end, and consumers don't see it, but we all use the same thing, like the iHome, back end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those that use Apple products.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. So whatever. Right?
Again, it's like you're speaking English right now, but I just don't understand what you're saying.
Can we get on a common language here, please? You're speaking to two Android users.
All right. Oh, no. All right.
You want your cube back? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Nice. So that's cool. I have your 25 amp DC to DC charger.
Yep.
In the trailer, in my camping trailer, and it works great for. I have it wired in some Anderson connections for hooking in a solar panel, the portable panel into, right?
Okay.
And then I also have it wired into the trailer's 7-pin.
Oh, yeah.
The hot wire on the 7-pin.
Yep.
So anytime that the trailer is hooked into the vehicle with the 7-pin trailer hookup, I'm getting that 25 amp coming through.
Yep.
Which is really nice. So that one's a nice feature, and it's a sweet little package. Just popped right on the wall there next to my batteries, and it kind of takes care of maintaining the batteries when there's no solar out or if I'm driving around. So trailer application's great. Mm-hmm.
Benefit of this versus a solenoid connection, of course. Solenoid's just a pure on-off.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a dumb connection, and sometimes you actually don't fully charge that second battery, whether it's in your vehicle or in a trailer. So you run into that issue, but the solar DC charger, it will go through the charging cycle to make sure it's fully topped off. So
that's cool.
So you spend a little bit more, but for the lifetime of your battery, Is
that the MPPT?
MPPT, and it's basically what I have been telling people at the show is basically it's like your house battery charger for your vehicle, but it's in your car. It's a 3-stage charger.
Okay.
And so it goes through, your bulk charging. I forgot the name on the second one, but then your floating charging at the end.
Yeah.
Just to kind of top it off.
Nice.
Cool.
You guys have some fun products. Anything coming out in the future other than your new pure sine inverters?
Yeah, always something new.
Uh-huh.
Of course, we're working on the next generation of the Lithium Cube.
Okay.
We've been prototyping. We've been just testing the heck out of different things, seeing what we need, seeing what we don't need, seeing what we want, seeing what we don't want in the next generation product.
Okay.
There's a lot of choices out there. I think where we kind of stand out is, like I said before, we hammer our products. We want to make sure it's road proven, off-road proven, because that's our primary market for this product. And even if you don't do those sports, right? Yeah. I know that I can use it in case this is in my go bag.
Yeah.
Right? And it'll be all right.
Yeah.
We had power go off at the house, rolling blackouts during the summer, and I grabbed the Lithium Cube out of the garage, and I plugged in some fans, and we plugged in the record player. And we were the only people, for the most part, that had radio music coming from our house. Yeah. Our neighbors came over, and they're like, "Hey, do you have power?" And we were like, "Well, kind of."
Yeah.
They were like, "Well, you got fans going? Like, we're going to hang out in here, And, rolling blackouts happen when it's already over 100 degrees, so it's hot, and they're cutting off like your way to cool yourself down. So, a few people came over and just sat in our living room to music, but
for sure.
because we had a Lithium Cube, which is there is a safety level with that. It's just a backup power supply.
Yeah, and we all live in fire and earthquake country.
Yeah, right? In California here.
Yeah, in California, and it's like, the whole West Coast pretty much.
Yeah,
and
true.
Who knows now, Canada, right?
Yeah.
And so preparedness is part of the equation now. And like you said, you're able to power your kind of luxuries.
Yeah.
But let's say if you need to power your fridge, use a 1200, you could power up to 8 hours now. The fridges have gotten so efficient.
Yeah. Wow.
That'll carry you through overnight almost, right? So it's pretty good.
Nice.
I did think of that, but I didn't think my 500 could do it. Would the 500 be able to power it?
For a couple
Run it?
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you just at that point, you're just like, I want to cool the fridge down again.
Yeah.
You know, don't open the freezer.
Yeah.
Ever. And if you need to, open the fridge, but we can actually cool it back down a little bit. That okay, good to know.
Save the ice cream, saves the steak.
Yeah. No,
Right.
eat the ice cream.
Yeah.
Too funny.
You guys coming out with any bigger ones? Like, what are some of the features, stuff that you're looking into? If you want to say them or not.
Yeah. So some of them are out in the market right now. Some of them are not.
Okay.
You know, I think where we've stood out a lot was we purposely designed the first gen Lithium Cube to be compact.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No obnoxious handles.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in the 100 series Land Cruiser, where we have lots of space in the trunk, we're always looking for more space.
Yeah.
You know, so nice compact package, no, large handles or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's on a visual side, that's certainly one.
The form
feature.
factor of the Lithium Cubes is super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that was intentional.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, adding to that, of course, the topo, we're going to try to make that continue.
Okay.
Because,
Okay.
you got to topo when you overland, right?
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody loves it.
Yeah. So that, try to incorporate wireless functions, whatever it might be,
Okay.
whether it's Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or what the app might be.
Okay.
We want to future-proof the product.
Gotcha.
We want to plan the product or have the product plan basically include other products into it as well and how they all fit together, because we don't want siloed products altogether.
Mhm.
Sure.
So we, that takes time, but no.
Could you put a Wi-Fi router into it so that we can create a mesh network off of the Starlink?
Ooh.
I'll take a royalty on that
All
one.
right, all right. I'm writing that down.
I've seen some other brands that do induction charging, and my thought is that it's a waste of power.
Yeah.
Because the charge factor
Yes.
for your phone isn't very fast or
No.
very great. And
You have
your
a lot of heat
with a
waste.
lot of heat
Yeah.
waste and a lot of power waste for not a lot of gain for your
Yep.
phone
Yep.
or anything you can do induction charging with. And so to me, I'm like, the companies that do that it's just, in a way, it's a gimmick.
Yeah,
You're losing
for
power.
sure, for sure. And what actually a lot of industry people call it, the Qi charger or whatever you call it, right? They're more phone warmers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
And we had the option of adding one. And Lee from Solve Function, he actually took our Lithium Cube. Knowing Lee, I mean, I'm sure you guys know, he hacked it. He took it apart,
Yeah.
rewired it, and put a little Qi charger in there. That's fine. But we felt it didn't have much value. Plus, half the time we're putting stuff on top of it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? And plus, I just didn't see a lot of value in
I
it.
agree.
I
Yep.
hate Qi charger. I have one for my not Android phone.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I end up going to the hardwire anyways, because you can go 0 to 80% in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was super impressed with that. My phone was dead near the end of the day yesterday. Like, it wouldn't turn on. It was at 0% battery. I plugged it into Lee's 1200 Lithium Cube over there.
Yeah.
And then we went over and we were hanging out at the charcuterie over here at Timbo Tusk
Oh, yeah.
for 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And came back and I was at 82%. And I was like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
So-
So, I mean, that beats Qi charger all day long.
100%.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you were alluding to, the form and function of the cube, which is a cube,
Yeah.
it makes packing
Yep.
and everything so easy.
Yep.
Like you literally do put stuff on it, around it, or whatever, but you
Yeah.
try to keep the ports accessible,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But you can stack everything on top of it, no
Yep.
problem. Probably
Yeah.
there's a weight limit, but
I mean, it's pretty well secured inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stack all kinds of stuff on top of it too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Any other fun products other than the future upgrades to the Lithium Cubes?
Yeah, so those I would say are the highlights. There's
Yeah.
always a couple things cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Not ready to share yet,
Cool.
Okay.
but
Legal department won't let you?
legal department won't let us.
yeah.
But yeah, we tinker a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We try to see gaps, and one of the things, I mean, we kind of stopped development on this, but
Mhm.
lighting. Lighting's always fun, right? You and I, we were talking about you wanted some sort of scene lights, on your camper.
Yeah.
So we were trying to think, okay, what's another solution around it that other people aren't doing?
Yeah.
So we were playing around with that, and
if you could make some scene lights with like little speakers in them, that way we have exterior audio as well. I don't think anybody's doing that other than the standalone lights, but like I want them built onto the exterior of the trailer. So
and put a big old sub
underneath the trailer. Yeah. Well, I just
that
found
does
out
different color lights.
Yeah. That'd be cool. There, you do have a couple of the magnets you guys use on your lighting.
Yep.
Your little accessory lights.
Yep.
Fantastic. We were joking around that. What's her name?
Carrie
Mountain Subi was using them as rock lights at one point accidentally.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah. She was trying to fix her Subaru Outback and stuck it on the axle, or not the axle, the
one of the skid plates or something. Or?
Yeah, and then she left it on there. They took off. 300 miles later, they're like, "Holy cow! The lights are still there."
Wow. Yeah.
Yep. So those are great. If you're looking at having to fix a vehicle at night on the trail and you just need something like a spot in your fender well that's hard to get light into.
Yep.
Your guys' little accessory lights are awesome for those.
Yeah. My personal two favorite lights is actually the Wayfinder and Wayfinder XL.
Okay.
Because it's got a magnet, but it's got a swivel base, and you can stick it into, let's say the chassis, point it at where you need to work, and not have to yell at the kid to tell him where to point the flashlight. Right?
Yeah. And then only have your light there for 2 minutes.
Exactly.
Once they get bored, they're done.
Shaking, right? Yeah. So that's a favorite light of mine. The XL is just brighter. And now we included an amber light, both for emergencies, but also as a bug light. Guys who've got the back hatch. Now, what I do when I get to base camp, I'll just slap it onto the hatch, and now I've got an amber cook light, with fewer bugs and whatnot.
Yeah,
which fits perfectly with Jimmy's tailgate.
Yeah.
Whenever I come out with one for the 100 series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Fun event. Hopefully everything's going to be awesome for you guys. We always love the products that you're coming out with. We're talking about them constantly on the podcast, and especially the Lithium Cube and kind of the fun things we've been doing with them. So Jimmy's been doing with his, and I'm now going to be switching over to the 1200 here. So
right.
So good stuff. Thanks for coming on the podcast and taking the time this morning, and hopefully the rest of the event goes awesome for you guys.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for having me.
If people have questions about Wagan Tech and products that you guys have, or if they can use their cube for this or that, how can they get a hold of you to do that?
Easiest way is probably find us on any of the social channels.
Okay.
At Wagan Tech, WAGNTECH. And either through Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. And if you want to learn a lot of stuff, we have over 200 videos on YouTube for you to just do a deep dive.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Okay.
We have FAQs on video form, so you can go through that. So those are great resources. But again, social channels if you want to ask any particular questions.
Sweet.
Excellent.
Yeah. Jimmy, if anybody has questions for us, and how does a 2-wheel drive CRV do overlanding? How can people do that? Send those in?
Yeah, you can find me over at Snail Trail 4x4 on Instagram. Tyler's at 4x4 Toyota Tyler. You can email us, Jimmy or Tyler, at snailtrail4x4.com. Or you can phone in and ask me how the CRV did at Expo and how many side-eye glances we got. And that phone number is area code 916-345-4744.
Awesome. Final words for everybody out there. We'll kind of go around here. Jimmy's used to it, so I'll hit him first. Jimmy, final words for everybody?
It doesn't matter what you brought to Overland Expo. It just matters that you showed up.
That's a fair. Alex, any final words for everybody out there?
Have fun, explore, and try to push the limit a little bit.
I like it. I love pushing limits. So with that, my friends, keep crawling.
Okay, so you're driving down the river in a 4-door canoe. Your wings fall off. How many pancakes does it take to cover the roof of a doghouse?
What? This is too early for this.
Might be a little bit early.
You're driving down the river in a 4-door canoe.
Your wings fall off. How many pancakes does it take to cover the roof of a doghouse?
I
have no idea.
Yellow. Snakes don't have armpits.
Oh my god. How do you remember that?
I've known it since high school.
That's fun.
I keep that in the back pocket
That's
a lot.
random. Nice. I love it.